Yeah, already I was given the two note points, note 1 and note 2 over and note 3. So whenever there is a converging lens, convex lens, which is keeping in a surrounding medium, whose refractive index, its refractive index is less than that of the refractive index of the glass or material medium of the lens. Once again, here the diverging or converging nature of the lens which depends on the surrounding medium. It's a very important. So there is a converging lens, it doesn't mean always it is converging the light rays under any circumstances. This is not correct. So whenever this lens is converging the light rays, that is only possible whenever this lens is keeping in a medium, surrounding medium, whose refractive index is less than that of the refractive index of the lens. Means here mu2 is less than mu1. Means a glass material medium is used to prepare a lens, converging lens, convex lens, which is keeping in air medium. Air is rarer medium comparing to this glass. When it is keeping in surrounding medium which is air medium rarer, in such case light rays are definitely converges after refraction. Okay? Whenever the same lens is keeping in other medium whose refractive index is more than that of the refractive index of the glass, means the surrounding medium is a denser. Surrounding medium is denser. Therefore, converging lens behaves as a diverging lens. Instead of converging the light rays and diverging the light rays, whenever the surrounding medium refractive index is greater than the refractive index of the lens. Therefore, here, under same situation, concave lens generally, which is keeping in air medium, means surrounding medium whose refractive index is less than that of the refractive index of the glass. And definitely it diverges the light rays. But here, it is keeping in surrounding medium whose refractive index is greater than that of the lens. What happens? Instead of giving the diverging, and it converges the light rays. So here the lens behavior is quite reversed. So converging lens behaves as a diverging lens and diverging lens behaves as converging lens. Who decides this? Surrounding medium. As the surrounding medium changes. How it changes? Whose refractive index is greater than that of the refractive index of the material medium which is used to prepare the lens. Then the converging lens behaves as diverging lens and diverging lens behaves as converging lens. Keep in your mind. It's a very important. Therefore, here the converging nature and diverging nature of the lens which depends on the surrounding medium. Okay, next go for another one, third point. So whenever air bubble inside liquid, inside a liquid, definitely liquid is a denser medium whose refractive index is greater. So this is air bubble, air refractive index is 1. It is rarer medium, it is denser medium. Then the light rays are passing through this air bubble. This air bubble behaves like diverging lens. Means light rays will diverge. How? See here, a parallel beam of light inciding on it. Here the normal is drawn to it. So denser into rarer, this is the angle of incidence here, this is the angle of refraction. It is bending away. Whenever the ray is traveling from denser into rarer medium, it is bending away from the normal. So that we know. Therefore, from rarer into denser, here it is angle of incidence, angle of refraction. It is bending towards the normal. Therefore, the light ray finally it is parallel to the principal axis or horizontal. Then what happens here? It is bending away. Means here also it is bending away from its original path. Therefore, the light rays are diverging. Whenever the light is passed through this air bubble which is inside the liquid. Here, the air bubble behaves like diverging lens. Okay, next go for another point, fourth point here. Fourth one. Suppose there is a lens. So surrounding medium refractive index is mu2 and glass refractive index mu1. If mu1 is equal to mu2, what happens? No refraction takes place. There is no significance of converging lens and diverging lens. No use of it. A parallel beam of light incident, that should be parallel. No deviation at all. The light never bends from its original path if refractive index of surrounding medium is equal to refractive index of the glass medium. And if you take even concave lens, again here it is mu1 and surrounding medium mu2. Yes, mu1 is equal to mu2. Then what happens? The ray will parallel to each other. There is no scope at all to get the bending of light. The light never bends as it passes through this lens whenever the surrounding medium and the lens medium both will have the same refractive index. Even then, there is a lens with air inside it and outside is also air medium. So there is no bending of light in this case. There are three different situations we observe here. This is a lens whose refractive index and the surrounding refractive index both are same. Then no question of bending of light takes place in it. Means no refraction takes place. Here also same, even it is concave. But here a lens is prepared in such a way that inside air medium and outside surrounding medium is also air. Now as the light is passed through this lens, so there is no question of bending of light. Okay, so these are the very very important note points we should remind every time. These are very basic points you should be recall every time while solving the problem. So important note points over. There are some important terms which are often used in this part regarding the lens. In the lens part, while discussing, these terms often use. What are the important terms related to it? And center of curvatures, of course, one is center of curvature. Center of curvature. Center of curvatures. There are two centers of curvature for a lens. Lens has two curved surface, suppose, and this lens has two centers of curvature. So this is one center of curvature, it is another one. Means, so a sphere is imagined in such a way that the curve is a part of the sphere such that its center is taken to be center of curvature. So there are two centers of curvature for two curved surfaces, C1 and C2. C1 and C2. Okay, C1, C2. And one more point is optic center. Go for optic center. What is optic center? It is a point of interception of refracted ray. It is a point of interception of refracted inside the lens with the principal axis such that the emergent and the incident ray both are parallel to each other. That is known as center of or optic center. Optic center. Once again, so this is a lens. So every ray which is refracted through this lens is making interception with principal axis. That is not taken as optic center. Means a ray which is incident, a ray which gives the interception over here side, and emergent ray and incident ray, they may not be parallel to each other. they may not be parallel to each other. When these two are extended, somewhere they intercept each other. Therefore, the interception is giving the refracted ray inside the lens with the principal axis for all the light rays, all the refracted light rays which is not taken as optic center. There is only one refracted ray which makes the interception with the principal axis inside the lens, such that, it's very important, such that the emergent and the incident ray, these two are parallel to each other. Once they extend, they should be parallel to each other, and such refracted ray giving interception with the principal axis is known as optic center. Yes, for the thick lens, optic center is here. Of course, the light is bending. As the light is passing through optic center, even then, at two surfaces, at first surface it is bending and refraction takes place. Here also refraction takes place, but so in this case, whenever you are getting the optic center, the emergent and incident ray, these two must be parallel to each other. If you go for thin lens, so it is a thin lens. For thin lens, when the ray is passes through optic center, there is no question of bending of light on any surface, two surfaces. Straight away, it is passes straight away along the same path without any deviation. If it is a thin lens, very thin lens, the light which is passing through center, optic center, then that never be deviate, that travel along the same straight path. So that is called optic center here. Okay, here it is optic center. It is for thick lens, it is for thin lens. But majority of cases, 99% of cases, so we discuss in our chapter that regarding the thin lens. So this can also be discussed, but very less. Okay, very rarely. If questions are discussing related to the thick lens, that is very rare. But majority of the problems we are solving, so for thin lens. In this case, the light ray passes through optic center, that never be bend or deviates from its original path. Keep in your mind. And next one is, what is the principal axis? The principal axis is a straight line joining the centers of curvature and optic center of lens is known as principal axis. This is known as principal axis. Okay, we go for third one is principal axis. Principal axis. Okay, no need to go for more explanation, because already these terms we discussed in case of spherical mirrors, but one or two points will change, but remaining all are giving same meaning. Okay, here the straight line which is joining the center of curvatures and the optic center is taken to be principal axis. Okay, this is the principal axis. Principal axis. Okay, now center of curvature is over, principal optic center is over, and this is the principal axis over, radius of curvature. So radius of curvature of a lens is defined as the radius of the sphere of which the surface is a part. So see here, when we consider the lens, so here one surface is taken into account, and it is imagined that as a sphere, and it has its own center, that is center of curvature, and from center of curvature to the surface pole, this is known as pole. So up to this pole it is taken to be radius of curvature. For second surface again we are taking that imaginary sphere, for which this is R1 and this is radius of curvature R2. Again the sphere is imagined with this curved surface, such that the center to the pole or center to the surface of the sphere or surface of the part, so that is taken to be radius of curvature of second one. So like this we can get radii of curvature for a lens. Radius of curvature of a lens is defined as that the radius of the sphere of which surface is a part. So that is the radius of curvature. And go for another one is pole. What is the pole? Pole is a midpoint of the curved surface of a lens through which principal axis passing. Pole. Pole means it is a lens. It is a midpoint through which principal axis passing. Midpoint of curved surfaces. Okay. So it is a midpoint of curved surfaces through which the principal axis passing, which is taken as pole P1 and P2. They are the poles. Here this is pole P1, this is P2. Here this is P1 and this is P2. Okay. So that is the pole. So we finished center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis and optic center. Okay. Next pole, and next one is principal focus. Fifth one is principal focus. What is principal focus? It is a point at which the light rays are converges or appear to be diverge after refraction through lens. See here, when we go for convex lens and concave lens, see, when we go for convex lens, a parallel beam of light, whenever a parallel beam of light is incidenting on the lens, after refraction, they come to focus, giving its image at this focus point, because a beam is parallel, which is incidenting on the lens. Now in this case, the light rays are converges to a point. The point of convergence is taken to be principal focus whenever a parallel beam of light is incidenting on it. When concave lens is considered, in this case, a parallel beam of light incident on it, and after refraction of light, they appear to be diverge from a point. That point is taken to be principal focus. Once again, I define this principal focus. So principal focus is a point where the light rays are converges or appear to be diverge after refraction through lens whenever a parallel beam of light is incident on it. Okay, so this is principal focus. Okay, now focal plane, one more point, sixth one is focal plane. Focal plane. So it is a plane passing through principal focus and perpendicular to principal axis of the lens. This is a plane. The plane which is passing through, we imagine a plane, convex lens and concave lens. These two are giving images. So in order to construct these images, we should follow some rules. The rule is rule number 1. When a parallel beam of light incident on this lens, after refraction, it passes through principal focus. It passes through principal focus. And rule number 2, it is must and should when a parallel beam of light is incident on the lens, convex lens. In case of convex lens, okay, then after refraction the light ray must pass through the principal focus. Next rule is when a ray of light passes through principal focus and after refraction, so the refracted ray will become parallel to principal axis. Means when object is keeping at infinity, then its corresponding image formed at focus point. when object is keeping at focus, its corresponding image formed at infinity. That is the meaning. Okay? So definitely whenever the ray passes through principal focus, after refraction, that ray, refracted ray becomes parallel to principal axis. Right? Third rule. When a ray of light which passes through optic center which never deviates from its original path. Already we discussed this point. In case of thin lens, we talk about thin lens. Here, a ray of light passes through optic center, then this ray will not be deviate from its original path. And for concave lens, again some rules we are taken into account for concave lens while constructing the image by the refraction of light through concave lens. Rule number 1. When a parallel beam of light is incident on this concave lens, after refraction, the light ray appear to be diverged from the focus point. Rule number 2. When a ray of light is converges to a focus point and traveling towards the focus point, then after refraction, this refracted light becomes parallel to the principal axis. Okay, same as that of here. Parallel beam of light after refraction passes through focus, and parallel beam of light after refraction it is appear to be diverged from the focus. Means here object is at infinity, corresponding image formed at focus point. Of course, this is the virtual image. Here the real image is formed. But here whenever the light is traveling towards the focus point, after refraction the refracted ray becomes parallel to the principal axis. Rule number 3. When a ray of light passes through optic center, that ray never be deviates from its original path. There is no bending of light takes place whenever the ray is traveling through optic center of the convex or concave lenses. So based on these rules, we can construct the images which are forming by the lenses convex and concave lenses. So these are the important ray paths or the rules in order to construct the images formed by the two lenses. Okay.